Hello, my name is Dimitris. My call sign is Foxtrot 4, Victor Tango Romeo, and Sierra Victor 1, Romeo Quebec Juliet. I'm using a Yaesu FTDX101MP with a long wire antenna connected to an automatic mast antenna tuner. The problem that I faced with my rig was that every time I want to tune my antenna, I have to change to a constant carrier modulation like AM, lower the power to around 10 or 20 watts, key up until the tuner matches my antenna, and then restore my modulation and power level. My previous rig, an ICOM 7300, had this automation, so I decided to add it to the Yaesu also. I decided to use an ESP32 microcontroller to do the job for me. I built this device, which can do all the necessary adjustments to my rig, initiate the tuning, and at the end set it back to its initial settings. So in order to start the tuning, I have three options. Either I press the PTT button on my microphone when I'm not in a tuned frequency, or I press the MOX button on the rig itself, again if I am in a frequency that I'm not tuned, or I can simply press the tune button on my device, this red button, and that forces a tune no matter if I am in a frequency that is tuned or not. So let me show you how it works. I am now in a frequency that my antenna is not tuned. So what I will do, I will momentarily press the PTT button on my microphone. And that's it. My device reports SWR lower than 2 to 1, and this depends on its band and my antenna and the tuner. Now, if I change to another frequency, and I'm not tuned on that frequency, again what I will do is I will press the PTT, and it's tuned this time with SWR better than 1.5 to 1. So this is how it works, as simple as that. I can always press the button to force again a tuning. Doesn't have a lot of difference when you are already tuned. And I can do the same thing, as I said, with the MOX button. So I will press the MOX button, and the antenna is tuned. So as simple as that. I have also added some indicators that are showing some of the parameters that are interesting to me. For example, I have here the indicator EQ, comp, and gear. They show me if the equalizer of the microphone is active, if the compression is active, or when I'm in CW mode, if the gear is active. So for example, if I switch to CW mode, you will see that I have the gear active. Back in SSB, I have compression on. If I switch it off, it will turn off also on this device. Same thing if I turn off the equalizer. So it's interesting for me to know the status of these functions without going into menus. And I can modify that in different parameters. I'm also interested to see how many watts I have set my rig to. Right now it's 20 watts, you can see it there, and I can change that, let's say to 60 watts. This is the power that I transmit, okay? It's not the power for the tuning. If I tune, you will see on my SWR meter on the Diva on the 20 watt scale. If I tune, it goes up to 9-10 watts, and that's it. But when I normally transmit, it will go to 60 watts. For example, if I transmit, testing, this is Foxtrot 4, Victor Tango Romeo testing. Then it uses the power that I have set. I have also added, as you saw, a little PEP indication, the peak envelope power. It's experimental for the time being. It tries to calculate the peak power during transmission. As I was building this device, I decided to add some programmable knobs to control some of the parameters of my rig that are not very accessible from the front of the rig, like for example the squelch control or the contour level. So I added 4 knobs, okay, to which I can assign a specific parameter chosen from a list of parameters. In order to assign a parameter to a knob, I only need to press the knob, choose the parameter that I want, and press the knob again, like this. Let's say that we want on this button to control the power level, and we do it like that. We press, we choose what we want to use, which parameter, the squelch for example, we press it again, and now I can control the squelch. If I turn the button, I'm controlling the squelch level. But I prefer to control the frequency with this button. So, frequency. And here I'm controlling the frequency. Right now it's set to change the frequency with 1 kilohertz steps. Similarly, this button controls the squelch level, this one controls the power, this one my memories, the memories of the rig, and so on. Let's go to a frequency that it's not in use. Here, for example. For the time being, I have only programmed these parameters that you see here. Okay, but in the near future, I plan to add more parameters depending on what I need, and maybe depending on the feedback I will get. So that's my little project. There are some other functionalities, some which they're not shown here in this video. So in the description below, I will add a link to my GitHub page where you can find the schematics, the code for the microcontroller, pictures of the device, instructions, notes, and whatever I think it's needed if someone wants to construct the same device. It will be publicly available. If you need some help, send me an email, and according to my availability, I will try to help you. You will find my email in my QRZ page under my call sign, Foxtrot 4 Victor Tango Romeo. So that's it about my little project of an automatic tuner controller with knobs, and I hope you like it. So 73.